Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, along with my brother Brent and Dr. J. We're going over the incredible new UFO videos just into Third Phase of Moon. So let's get to it. Guys, take a look at this broad daylight sighting. All right, what the heck are we looking at? A metallic cube-like UFO rotating stationary in the sky. No undulation up or down. This thing is just rock solid at a steady level, hovering there, rotating. Under intelligent design, in my opinion, we're looking at something quite incredible here.
Yeah, is this something man-made or something otherworldly? I'm leaning towards something of new technology. We're looking at something that just seems to, like you say, Blake, just hover as it rotates and stays in its position. In my opinion, if this was just a balloon, you'd see it kind of drifting off or floating up. This thing just remains in its point in sky as it spins. Dr. J.
This is really remarkable footage. First of all, the person capturing it not only captured the orb in the sky, he captured people crossing the street, driving, and a building for reference. Now, the object seems to be stationary, but upon closer look, it looks like it's barely moving. But the most interesting is look at the way the light is glistening on the object. It's either rolling, wobbling, or like you said, rotating. And that's what makes it more believable. I don't know if this is our technology, because why would it be tested over a populated area instead of somewhere like Groom Lake?
Possible surveillance drone, Blake?
You know, it's a good question. I'm not seeing any prop propeller blades or anything that's any means of conventional flight. So we're looking at something crazy. Again, no manipulation in my opinion. This is 100% legitimate footage. The question is, what the heck is it? And under a little closer inspection, we did a little enhancement to the right. You almost see like it's at first I thought it was an orb, but it turned to be looking more like a cube. Your thoughts? Now, the next video just in. Here we go again. Incredible. People pull over on the side of the road. They notice something in the sky and start to pull out their camera. And once again, broad daylight footage of what looks to be a metallic disc just hovering in the sky. He's shaking around. He's excited, kind of yelling out, what the heck is it? And right now we have no answers for you. We just know that it's the phenomenon, and there it is in your face, broad daylight. Quite interesting. You see it oscillate just slightly there, something like what Bob Lazar would explain.
Yeah, this is some pretty badass footage. Here's a good close-up, and it's interesting when you see something there on the bottom right on the left screen. Is that maybe an accompanying UFO that we're looking at next to this large cylindrical disc that's just hovering in the sky up there? Again, people do say that when they see a disc, a UFO, a flying saucer, they see other kind of objects next to it, some sort of like drone. This is a great close-up there. John.
This is actually more remarkable footage as well, because of the same thing. You got reference points of a building, you got the street, you got the power line, and then just like you said, very good eye. What is that other object to the lower right of it? Is it something that came out of the larger object itself? Obviously, it looks to be under intelligent control, or is it monitoring this disc? But it's not really a disc. The edges don't look perfectly round. That's another amazing thing about this video. This is really good footage.
You know, when I'm looking at this a little closer, it's interesting because it's high up there in the sky. I'm estimating this thing to be at least maybe 20 feet in diameter. And the way you mentioned this, Dr. J, I noticed that it is in a perfect saucer shape. There seems to be some ridges, almost like an octagon, but it's hard to make out. But again, it's still pretty clear footage. And pans to the right, we're looking at it. That undulation is amazing stuff. Now, the next video into third phase moon, let's roll it. Captured in Japan, you have a group of people in shock and awe of what looks to be some kind of massive craft, and it's interesting. We're going to inspect this video a little closer, and if you're joining us in this live premiere, make sure you hit that thumbs up, because again, we got a lot of videos in this episode. But I wanted to share this with you. It's been kind of going viral last week. It's the first time we're sharing it with you right here at Third Phase Moon, and we wanted to get everybody's thoughts. Again, I think this is legitimate footage, but it looks to me almost like just this ominous dark cloud, and then we have this refraction of lights within the glass, making it appear to be a mothership. But again, they're in shock and awe. Maybe they're seeing something that they can't explain. Brandon, is this some kind of cloaked mothership?
Yeah, I really like this footage. It makes people just wonder, what are we looking at? Right there in the beginning, when the clip plays, it definitely looks like this saucer just straight in your face, and it looks like a mothership off in the distance. But then as the camera keeps rolling, you can see that the lights are within the cabin of the plane itself, and then it kind of reveals itself, in my opinion, as a dark cloud. But again, this is impressive footage that catch people's attention. John?
I actually considered the fact that is it a dark cloud, but then again, it looks way too uniform, and the lights in it look eerie. I also started to pay attention to the series of lights to the left of the craft, but then I realized those are probably just the glare from the actual window. So just like you said, is this just a dark cloud and the lights are glare from inside the aircraft? I don't know what to say about this one. I hope it's a craft. If it is, it's really amazing. Clearly, people were excited enough to film it. But is it something conventional, like just a dark cloud?
Interesting. And the thought process, it's everybody's opinion. That's why we're sharing it with you right now. Leave it in the comments. We want to hear yours. Now, more videos into Third Phase Moon. I told you we had a lot of them. Let's get to it. In a little town of Chile, a villager comes out of their home noticing something in the sky. Is this again some kind of cube-shaped UFO? We don't see the craft itself, but we see 4 lights, and it's just hovering there, and they're shocked. And then again, I guess it starts to morph in a couple other lights, so these things dissipate. It's just weird stuff, but it got a lot of people's attention in Chile. What's your thoughts here, Dr. J?
You know, first thing I noticed, is it 4 different objects that are in unison, or is it 1? I actually think this is 1, and it's not the first time a cross-shaped UFO was seen. If everyone recalls this very famous woodcut from the 1500s Nuremberg, which everyone can see on Ancient Aliens, or just Google it, you see a Star Wars, what people described, of orbs, cylinders, discs, and cross-shaped objects fighting. So I'm actually not surprised that that's what this is actually shaped like a cross and is something anomalous. I don't think we have anything in our Air Force, Space Force, or technology that looks like this.
All I could say, John, is what we're looking at looks like something intelligent, because it's there, it's creating a pattern like a cube, a square, just hovering in the night sky, and it's stationary. It's not moving left to right. This thing's locked in. Again, I wish the video didn't cut. I would have liked to see the pattern of lights on how this next angle just shows 2. So it leads me to question what's going on here. Could it just be a placement of drones up in the sky creating this, or something else?
You know, when I'm looking at this video, and it's a good call, I wish they didn't cut. Maybe they're 2 separate events. It's interesting. I'm not exactly sure if this is the same event. It looks like the same color spectrum of the exact same time, but again, what we're looking at with these 4 respective lights just hovering in the sky, the question is it 1 object? In my opinion, it very well could be. And in my opinion as well, this is again 100% legitimate footage, unknown, no manipulation. It's a UFO, guys. We don't know what the heck it is. So let's roll the next one. You guys ready? Check this out. What the heck are we looking at here? Again, in my opinion, we're looking at something legitimate in the sky. The person was filming the sun and this thing just crossed into frame. Unknown what we're looking at, and it is very bizarre. You see this warping effect. In my opinion, that's the thermal waves coming in from the sun and the atmospheric disturbance. But we see this thing cross the path of the sun and disappear. But once again, just watch this. It's amazing. In my opinion, I don't see any manipulation. We're looking at something up in the sky, and in a moment of time, something unusual was captured.
Holy shit. This is amazing, badass footage. Could be the best of the year. If this is indeed real, we're looking at something that nobody could explain. It looks like something floating in space as it's traversing in front of the sun with something that's not in our assets. This isn't your typical space station or Starlink or any of the sort. This is something the world has never seen, if this is real.
This is really one of the gnarliest things I've seen. First question, is this orbiting the sun? And the main object looks like a raft with a giant hole in it. But what we're looking at is actually three different things. This raft-looking thing, which starts to rotate, something next to it on the bottom right, which looks like a large, cylinder or a disc-shaped object, and a smaller object. Even the smallest object in this has to be massive to be visible this far away. And again, the question is it just in front of the sun, or is it close enough to be orbiting the sun?
Yeah, that's the good question there. And when I'm looking at this, as we see, I think the cameraman probably has his camera set at infinity level. So whatever this object is, if it were close to the camera person, I think if this wasn't super high up, like in the memosphere, 90 to 100 miles up, it would be out of focus if it were closer to the person, closer, maybe 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. I'm guessing that this is actually up there, 90 to 100 miles up there, in focus, just as well as you can see in the outline of the sun. And if this indeed is in our rotation around Earth, and this camera person managed to capture it, and it's some kind of secret space program or secret space station, we want to know. I think this is kind of smoking gun stuff here. This is quite incredible. And if you're joining us in this live premiere, I'm sharing you the link so you can share it on your social media to get the word out. Third Phase Moon's dropping big news in tonight's episode. And tell people, check out Third Phase Moon and share the link. But anyway, I want to get your thoughts with regards to what you're looking at right now. It's amazing stuff. And we even have more in tonight's episode. So let's roll the next one, guys. Hit that thumbs up right now. So once again, a cube in the sky rotating, and this one is crystal clear. We showed you the first UFO video in tonight's episode, and I think it's very similar. I think it's made by the same manufacturer. The question is, who's designing this? Is it being piloted? Is it unmanned? Anyway, it's super clear. Somebody's shooting it right outside their window, notices something in the sky, and we're looking at something that's totally unconventional here. Dr. J.
This reminds me, a couple nights ago, right here on Thirdphaseofmoon, we had a nighttime video of a cube with some lights that seemed to be attached or, flying underneath it. This is daytime footage. It originally looked like a square, but it's not a flat square because as it rotates, you could see it's literally a three-dimensional cube. That is not aerodynamic. That is not something DARPA or McDonnell Douglas or Skunk Works would be making. Obviously, they'd be making something like the TR-3B triangular. Is this, like you said, unmanned, or is it manned? What's the deciding factor on what has what? Either way, this is really remarkable footage, and I'd love to see how many people that are watching this right now have ever seen a cube-shaped UFO. If so, please say so in the comments.
Absolutely, Dr. J, and I want to get Brent's opinion. And this reminds me of some celestial events. NASA has been capturing images of the supposed cube, the Borg, whatever you call it. This is in our atmosphere. This is being captured by somebody on planet Earth, and it's just mind-boggling. As I pull up these photos from Soho, Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, again, the video comparison to Soho is dramatic. And there we go. Look at this. This has been seen millions of times, but it's something that needs to be shown again. The cube, the UFO cube. If this is something that's close to our sun and it's that shape, this is, again, smoking gun footage right here at Third Phase Moon. These things that we're seeing over the skies kind of just remind me of what's happening around our planet. There's drones everywhere now in all these shapes and sizes. We just want to know where are they coming from and who's operating them.
Yeah, and it's absolutely amazing that, again, NASA's capturing this, and they really don't have any explanation. Some people might just pass it off as a digital glitch, but I don't think so. There's just too many photos of the Borg next to our sun, and again, you're looking at authentic footage. No CGI, no AI, no manipulation. It's the real deal. The phenomenon is happening 24/7, and we wanted to bring up this video that's quite amazing. Take a look.
Yeah. Les voisins, c'est qui ont peur,
So we wanted to bring up this authentic video, and we're looking at it right now, a flying disc, and you're looking at, again, these undulations that defy seemingly the laws of physics. And this is some vintage video that has been around for a long time. You may have not seen it, and that's why we wanted to share it with you. But these recent photographs, apparently George Knapp has leaked of basically maybe the same event, the same craft captured during the time that video was captured. So this is breaking news, and we wanted to share the side-by-side comparison and what George Knapp's bringing to the table. Brent?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was going over YouTube and Kim Cross vetted, and he was talking about this and brought the similarities together with this George Knapp shot and the old vintage kind of put together. Really puts a nice timeline of, are these flying discs out there? And it seems like there's proof, and this is leading footage right here, John.
This is classic UFO disc. Very sleek. It's black looking. I love how people are watching it. It's over the mountain. You see the trees. Lots of points of reference. Obviously, this is the real deal. Otherwise, I don't think George Knapp would have used it. And I always been saying this for the last few years. Even though this is an older video, everyone has a camera in their pocket. That's why everyone is filming stuff these days. But I don't think that's the only reason there's so much more video out there. I think there really is a massive uptick in sightings. Now, the question is, how many are ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles, and how many are us being visited? This one, I don't know. Is it something we created, or is it something that is of non-terrestrial origin that's here to watch us?
That is the ultimate question, and I believe that our government or some secret program, some corporation, has harnessed technology not of this earth, and they're going wild with it. And maybe that's what we're looking at right now, and that's what we delve into our comic book. It's basically the breakdown of what is really going down in a fantastic scale. So hey, if you haven't watched it, hundreds of people, it's already over 1,000 people have ordered Battle for Disclosure, the comic book series. Take a look at this. That's right, Battle for Disclosure, available right now on Amazon. Get your hard copy or digital Kindle download. The links are below. Battle for Disclosure. It's been a wild ride producing all 4 issues. And let me tell you, it's rivaling what's really going on in our world with regards to disclosure, but just a little bit on steroids, but pretty much how disclosure would roll out. And it's a game changer. Battle for Disclosure. Make sure you order your copies right now. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. Be safe. Blake Cousins. We'll see you next time.
We'll catch y'all later.
10-4.